Thanks, Tippis, and welcome all of you to this press conference. Happy to have you here. And in this press conference, we will announce the new coach for our men's national team called Huu-TV. First of all, we had an extremely successful application time that was opened late June, finished 3rd of August, and receiving about 150 applications, 50 fulfilling the criteria of national head coach in any respect, and then right after that some candidates were shortlisted and interviews, and on this Monday, decision was made by our board unanimously, and we are glad to announce that our new head coach for a national team, men's A national team, is Hasse Backe, sitting here on my left side, 63 years old, Swedish, born in Luleå, very experienced, international, successful coach. His coaching career includes different teams, different positions. He started Djurgården '82, and then he has gone from Djurgården to Molde, Norway, Hammarby, Sweden, Östers, Sweden, AIK, Sweden, Stabæk, Norway, Aalborg, winning the championships, also Salzburg, Austria, FC Copenhagen, 5 years and 3 championships, being assistant to Sven-Göran Eriksson in Manchester City for a couple of years, Mexico assistant to same guy, Sven-Göran Eriksson, Notts County, short period, and then finally New York Red Bulls before Finland. The same team as Teemu Tainio was playing for him or for Red Bulls. He has still commitments, his job commitments in Sweden this fall, which means that he will start 1st of January 2016. Until the contract runs until end of 2017, of course, including possible qualification to World Cup 2018 in Russia, if you are to qualify, and of course, including an option for next 2 years, 2018 and 19 qualification time, plus then possible final tournament, European final tournament. The remaining 4 matches in our qualification for France will be taken care of Mr. Markku Kanerva, already in staff, and also Mika Nurmela and Jonathan Johansson, 2 very high-profile Finnish football players, and now also coaching career, have been nominated to support the coach staff in these 4 remaining matches. That was my start. Maybe Hasse then, please.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's better probably if you have questions. I can just say that I'm honored. I'm very excited to get the job. I've been out for a couple of years just commentating international football for SBS Discovery and Seymour, and have to do it until November this year. As always, when you sign a contract, you get more and more excited. So I'm definitely have to say that I'm keen to start once again and work with the national team. Definitely looking forward to a World Cup qualification. And that's probably all. And I think it's better if you have questions, you can just start asking.
Okay, questions in English, and then there is a possibility to ask a couple of questions in Swedish at the end of the press conference. Panu.
Coach Backe, nice to meet you. My name is Panu Markkanen. Why Finland?
It's a challenge, definitely. I mean, it's been a rough Euro qualification. I have had some options during these last 2 years, but I just felt this is a challenge. I like to do it and get back into a coaching role for a national team and try a World Cup qualifying group stage. I've done it once with Mexico in the CONCACAF, but I really enjoy it. And
how big influence are you going to have on these remaining games, even that your contract starts in 2016?
I don't think I wanted to disturb too much with Marco, Mika and Jonathan. Probably I will definitely will have a chat with Marco, but I would not have to say force him to pick this player for the squad. I think he has to decide, but I will be a little bit involved in just hearing his thoughts in a way for these games, but otherwise I'm not disturbing anything.
Before Pekka takes the question, please keep this area open, clear now because of the television stuff and like that. Anteeksi. Pekka, ole hyvä.
Mr. Bakke, how well you know the Finnish players?
Mostly of the players that's been in Sweden, like Arajuri has been there, Arkivo, Halsti, Moisander, of course, Sparv in Denmark now, Hämmerlein and Toivio now in Molde and in Poland. So these guys, Eremenko, of course, is an international high-profile player. So and I saw Risko for the first time now, having his debut for Gothenburg. So those players I've seen quite okay, I would say. I know these guys quite well.
More questions, please? Panu?
What do you think about the level of Finnish players? After last qualifying games, they were almost in tears in the interviews, saying that we are not good enough to qualify. What do you say?
I think it's always when you're in a national team in a way, you need to have playing time in your own clubs outside in a way. And I think, if I look at Iceland and things like that, the way they have been playing, the quality of the players they have, I think anything is possible in a way to make the results. Of course, when they arrive to the national team, they need to be in shape, of course. If you don't have played enough in your team, you never know what the status is with your shape. So that's so important, of course. But it's more for me in a way, I think, to build a team where everyone trusts each other in a way. It's a Scandinavian national team. I think that's the way to do it. And then play an unselfish football. You need to be flexible, of course, who you play, which players are available and things like that, to change your system. But I think the basic is get players to trust each other, play an unselfish football, be flexible. Every player has to know, what do I expect from this player as a centre back, as an attacker, to build a team to get together again.
Ari, ole hyvä.
Ari Virtanen, Helsingin Sanomat. Could you tell us a little bit about your preferred style of play?
It will depend a little bit, because I will not say we will play in this kind of system, because I think if you look sometimes when I see Scandinavian teams, you could say play a better team away, you play Spain away, you play Germany away, you can't play the same way, the same system, because I would say it's suicide. You need to do something that can surprise the team you play against. So I wouldn't say that we will play a 4-3-3 or 4-4-2, because it depends which players are available. What is the shape, the status of the players, then I will decide the playing style. But we need to have a basic system. This is the basic, but then we need to be flexible, depending who we play against.
Ari?
What kind of coach you are in man-to-man coaching?
You mean with players, or?
Yes.
I like to have, it's so important today. I think you need as a coach to have a daily dialogue with players. I need to hear what the players think, but I will of course take the decisions, the way we will play, our training sessions and things like that. I will definitely listen a lot to players too.
Mr. Bakke, how do you feel about the upcoming World Cup qualification?
Yeah, everyone will say, I think every group in the World Cup, if you look at the different groups, are tough ones. But I have the feeling with this group that I think every team can pick up points from each other, and that is quite okay. The best thing would probably be 6 teams in a group, so you get the good games, instead of a 5 group. I think every Scandinavian team wants and needs international football as much as possible. So I think it can be good for Finland in a group like this, where everyone can pick up points from each other. Finland will be underestimated. There's a lot of other Scandinavian countries, and I think you can use it in a good way, being underestimated as a team.
More questions? Anybody? Sorry.
Swedish.
Not yet. Lari, ole hyvä.
Mr. Bakke, could you describe the process of these applications? How did it feel to you as a manager?
It's of course another way of doing it, but I have no problems with it because the FA set the rules, they set the standards. This time they wanted to get the application in, and I have no problems with it at all. It will mean they get a lot of names coming in. They can decide this is a type of coach we want. So no, I have no problems with that.
More questions? Joo, ole hyvä, se takaa. Ei kai sieltä huideltiin sieltä takaa, kiitos.
Joo, me kysyn.
Joo.
How do you feel Finnish team level? So if you have FIFA ranking is 89, so what do you think it's been after a year? So
It's a low ranking, but it can go then only one way to get better. And of course it will affect when you are in the fifth group for the qualifiers, and you will meet tough opponents all the time. But I think I still go back a little bit to underdogs teams like Iceland and things like that. I mean, if you get a well-organized team, and as I said, if you can play an unselfish football where everyone knows what to do on the pitch, I think you can surprise anyone in that way, and that's the way I hope we can do it.
Okay, then in Swedish, please.
Sebastian Backman från Sjöle. Hur spelar ett Hasse Backe-lag fotboll?
Ja, det skulle ta 48 timmar att förklara. Nej, så komplex är jag inte. Det beror på, som jag sa lite, vilka spelare har vi till rådighet? Vad är formen på spelaren? Vilka möter vi? Spelar vi hemma? Spelar vi borta? Jag tror alltså att skandinaviska lag, när man går ut i tuffa VM-kvalgrupper, måste vara så flexibla så att man kan förändra och överraska sin motståndare.
Den förre landslagstränaren sa det innan han avgick eller fick gå att spelarmaterial helt enkelt i Finland helt enkelt inte räckte till för att ta sig till VM eller VM. Vad säger du om det?
Då får vi jobba med det. Då blir det ju mitt jobb lite att lyfta på nytt spelarnas självförtroende till att allting är möjligt. Det går att få resultat, men det gäller ju att man får ihop, att jag får ihop spelartruppen så att de börjar tro på det här igen. Det är vad det handlar om, och det är ju det som blir mitt jobb helt enkelt. Jag tror fortfarande, som jag sa inledningsvis, alltså man måste få spelarna att lita fullt ut på varann. Först då kan man också spela en osjälvisk fotboll och sen utnyttja materialet absolut 100%. För det är så här, när man kommer till match så måste man liksom fysiskt ha sin bästa dag. Du måste liksom ha planerat träningar med mera så att matchdag, då är du i toppform.
Kai Kunnas, finska Yle. Blir du fotbollens Ulle Lindström i Finland?
Ja, det vore bra. Det vore bra. Kurre gjorde det bra. Ja, det vet jag inte riktigt, men det vore alltså, jag kommer ju självklart att absolut jobba och göra mitt yttersta liksom vad det gäller att inledningsvis också få en bra kontakt med de finska klubbtränarna. Jag måste ju försöka få en del individuellt snack med spelarna redan nu under hösten innan jag börjar 1 januari. Så egentligen börjar ju jobbet kanske redan imorgon eller nästa vecka till att lägga en plan för det här.
Känner du Kurre? Kommer du att ringa honom och säga att
Nej, jag känner Kurre, men jag kommer inte att ringa honom.
You must be aware that Miksu Paatelainen used so-called Christmas tree formation. What do you think of that formation?
I think, as I said, the most important thing is still who do we play against? Which players do we have in our team? Are they available? Are they in good shape? And things like that. And that's why I think you still have to be able to change your system depending who you play. I think sometimes when teams said, when you have a player in the interview saying, oh no, we're only playing our own style. And sometimes you meet Germany away, you play Spain away, you can't play the same way, the same system. You need to change. So that's why I mean, you have to be flexible.
Vad kommer du att fästa extra stor uppmärksamhet vid nu på hösten då du inte ännu har helt hand om laget?
Analysera Finlands matcher så här långt i EM-kvalgruppen. Jag ska försöka, jag tror jag har möjlighet att se den sista matchen mot Nordirland på plats. Men de övriga matcherna så har jag eget jobb då med SBS att kommentera UEFA Week of Football som är en 4-5 matcher per omgång. Då. Men jag tror jag kan vara ledig och komma hit och se Nordirland. Så den delen blir ju väldigt, väldigt viktig. Sen måste man ju sätta ihop en egen stab också. Vilka som ska arbeta i staben. Det blir det som blir prioritering.
Hyvä.
Något namn nu?
Anteeksi.
För den staben?
Nej, namn kan jag inte nämna. Det är alldeles för tidigt. Men jag kan säga liksom att jag kommer inte att släppa med mig någon egen stab. Utan det kommer, så mycket kan jag säga att det kommer att vara 2 finska coacher tillsammans med mig. Men någon namn har vi inte för tillfället.
Hyvä viimeinen kysymys, last question.
The general attitude in Finland towards the national team has been pretty negative after these last results. For example, the hardcore fans, even the hardcore fans were booing the team out of the stadium after last loss in the home game. What are you going to do to change that?
Winning football games. That's the kind of answer in a way, but that's the only way. You need to start winning football games. That's probably the only way to turn a negative side of it. I think it's probably the only answer in a way. You need to win football games.